It still trips me out to hear my son playing our old music. I'm talking about SoundCloud days. My first couple of songs. I forget that his dad is on those songs. And his dad has passed away. It's only been about a year. My son loves my old music. He likes the music now, but there's something about the music from back in the day that I made that he really, really likes. And he listens to it all the time. When they were younger, I never even once considered that they would get into the music industry. For some reason, I always thought my kids would want to grow up and do something completely different than us. And they all make music. All of them make music. All of them know how to write. They all have their own interests, but it always comes back to music. They were raised on it. They were created from it. Music means everything to my family. Art, creation, healing, these are all things that are important to my family. I wonder how their dad's death affects them from day to day. Our family was going through so much when he passed. It's all been like a blur. I didn't think that I would be able to raise my sons into being men. But a lot of times, whenever they go through something, I would speak to them as if I were their father. I would speak to them about things that I know that their father would speak to them about. And also, I watch men's podcasts. I read men's magazines and articles and stuff like that. I watch YouTube channels that are made by men for men about men's issues. And I also made sure to talk to my therapist about whatever he's going through and to bounce it off of someone who's a professional, just to make sure he's getting a well-rounded perspective of being raised. Because I feel like one of the benefits of having a two-parent household where there is a male and a female, and this, I'm not saying that that is what a household needs to be. I'm saying I find it beneficial to have a masculine and a feminine influence in the household, because two different minds, two different ways of thinking, you can meld your child into being a well-rounded person. My concern is that I wouldn't be able to show my sons how to be men. But just like how there's something inside of women that shows them how to be a mother when they have a baby, I feel like a man comes into his manhood on his own. If a man was raised in the middle of a forest with no parents, he would still become a man without someone showing him how to be a man, because it's ingrained in him, it's in his DNA. The best we can do as parents is support our children, and I'm starting to realize that. I need to offer them support and just listen. I don't need to push my ways onto them, because they're born in a totally different time. I was born in a totally different time. I was raised a totally different way. This world is so different than the world that I grew up in. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's always been like this. Maybe it's me that's different. Either way, I don't need to force my kids to do as I would do or to move as I were to move. I want to support them being authentic and unique and give them the courage and the wisdom to be that which they are, but to do it consciously and proudly. I've been doing this Taylor's decaf to death. I'm going to do some Harney & Sons organic peppermint tonight. I hope this is a decaf tea. I'm pretty sure peppermint is decaf, but I'm not sure. Yep, caffeine free, thank the Lord, because I cannot have any caffeine. I was up till 5 o'clock in the morning last night making cookies and potatoes. Like, girl, what are you doing? My son has me all passionate about cooking now. And I was telling him, I feel like I'm more passionate about feeding my kids than I am. Well, when I said it to him, I was like, I feel like I'm more passionate about feeding y'all than I am about cooking. But it's both. Because if they weren't here, I would still be passionate about cooking, but not as much. I became passionate about cooking because I had a passion for feeding them. Like, I had to feed them. There were times where, money was tight. And I didn't want them to feel like money was tight. So I wanted to make comfort foods, lavish foods, extravagant foods with a small budget. So I had to learn how to cook. I'm very picky about what I eat. I want my food to taste a certain way. I want it to be healthy. To me, if food is not healthy, there's no point in eating it. Thank you. It smells good. It smells earthy. Roger likes tea like that. What does he drink? What is it called? Bergamot, birchwood. What is what's it called? Something. Burlap. Something. I don't know. It tastes like a tree. This is so good. I hope I can sleep tonight. At this point, I never know how I'm affecting my children with what I'm saying or what I'm doing. So I just want to say less and observe more. Because they keep telling me these stories about things that I've said to them that, like, change their whole mindset about stuff. And these kids really are listening. This whole time I thought they weren't listening. They've been listening to what I was saying because I hear them say it to each other. I remember telling my son one time, this was years ago, I said, I feel like you have more respect for me than you show. I should have known then. They know a lot more than they put on. But I gotta respect it because who wants to be told what to do 24 hours a day? That has to be frustrating. My son checked me about leaving his pot out without cleaning it, and I thought I was fitting to have. I was so embarrassed, upset, and shamed all at the same time. And I was like, this must be how they feel when I check them, and I do it all day long. And it made me have a new appreciation for my position and for them because I have put them through a lot. I always think it's the kids putting us through so much, but we put them through a lot too. And I have to watch how I say to them things, you know. It's okay for me to be like, yo, you gonna take that trash out instead of, why you ain't take the trash out? Like, don't nobody want to be spoken to like that. And I know, because if somebody talked to me like that, even if I was 12, I would want to knock them on their behinds. So I am taking accountability for just being a better person and being a better mom and just being more accountable for how I treat people and how I speak to people. All people. I don't care who they are. I don't care what they say or how they're acting. It's about me and holding myself accountable and being responsible as a human being on this planet. Peace.